Hello, I'm Martin Fenska and welcome to the first episode of another of my Civilization 5 Vox Populi series. So as usual, because this is the first episode, it's more like an introduction of the series. We're going to be talking about the mods that we are using. We're going to be talking about the civilization we are playing as and its unique abilities. We'll check the map settings, and also as usual, I'll show you 3 different starting locations, and it's up to you guys to decide which of those starting locations we're going to be using for this series. You'll have like 24 hours to decide, so basically until you see episode 2 on YouTube, you can vote on the starting location. Also, when I release episode 2, I will make all 3 of the starting locations available to you, so if you want to play with me, you will have the option to do so. You just have to make sure that you have the same mods that I'm using. And speaking about mods, let's check those. So as usual, we're going to be using the full Vox Populi package. The version is the latest one currently from the 11th of January with the hotfix. So I'll make sure there is a link in the description where you can download it, and you'll see 2 files there for download. One is the 1.11 and the other one is 1.11.2. That's the one with the hotfix, so you want to use the one that has the hotfix. So that's Vox Populi, and on top of that, we are using the 3rd and 4th unique component, the latest version. Here you can see it, the version 56, but there'll also be a link in the description where you can download the mod. So that's the mod. Once again, if you want to play with me, make sure you have exactly the same mods, same versions that I'm using. Okay, now, as for the settings and the save that we are playing, we will be playing as Sweden. I gave you 2 options this time, either Sweden or Mongolia. Both got actually decent amount of votes. Sweden got more in the end, so that's why we're playing as them. But I think I will do Mongolia next, because as I said, Mongolia also get quite a few votes. And I want to play as all the saves that are in Civilization 5. So yeah, sure, why not? We can do Sweden now, Mongolia next, so that we see both of them. Okay, so Sweden against 7 AIs that suggest standard size map. And I was told that I should try the Frontier map, that it's pretty good for Vox Populi. I was even told that this is the best map for Vox Populi there is. I have like no experience with it, or very little, so I can't really say if it's the best. Even from the maps that I tried, I wouldn't say that one of them is like clearly the best. Or better than the others. It's very situational, but I was told that this should be really good for Vox Populi. So let's try it. As I said, standard map size with 16 city-states, didn't change anything there. The settings overall are pretty standard. Once again, I didn't want to go too crazy with the settings because we are playing with the 3rd and 4th unique component, and even though we got the victory in the previous series, there's still a lot I don't know about the mod. We have seen only like 8 saves in the previous series, so there is another like 35 that I haven't seen. So I don't want to like, as I said, to go too crazy with some fancy settings. So once again, Frontier map, standard size, Deity, Epic, Ancient Era, all classic, 4 billionaires, temperate. Normal rain 4. I think I changed the sea level though. I went with low because I want to give everyone a little bit more room to grow. Resources were standard, and here I changed to Pangea because that's what I want to play. I want everyone to be on the same landmass. That's the map settings. As for the game settings, again, just the basics. I think I disabled research agreements. I'm pretty sure I did. Actually, wait, disabled, yeah, this way. So we have disabled research agreements, no event system, no ancient ruins, no tech trading, no tech brokering, quick combat, quick movement, raging barbarians. Actually really looking forward to the classic authority opener as soon as possible with raging barbarians. It's actually been a while since we did that, so I'm really looking forward to do that again. And transparent diplomacy, so more or less like the most basic settings that that I'm using. Okay, so that's that, and now we can check the starting locations. So let's start with number 1. I actually decided to reload one of the starting locations after I already had 3 prepared, because I wanted to get one starting location with lakes, as one of the unique buildings that Sweden has access to improves lakes. So that's why it was 1-3 to the order of the save files, just the detail. And before we jump on the map, let's talk about Swedish unique abilities, buildings, and units. So first, the ability Lion of the North. Land melee units have 20% strength when attacking, and siege units have +1 movement. So first, the siege units +1 movement. That's not like super relevant. I mean, it's nice. Every time you get something extra, it's nice, but I don't think that one extra movement will make the siege units like broken or anything like that. So yeah, sure, I'll take it, but whatever. The other part though, land melee units have 20% strength when attacking. That's something we can definitely work with. It's pretty conditional because it's only land melee and it's only when attacking, but 20% is a lot. So for Sweden, I guess it's definitely true that the best defense is a good offense, and we will try to take advantage of this as much as possible, especially once we get access to our unique ability or its upgraded versions, because I guess we will be keeping all the unique promotions. And it's a percentage bonus, so every time you have certain amount of percent, it gets better the higher the base number is, right? If you are increasing 10 by 20%, you are not getting much, but if you are increasing 100 by 20%, the flat increase is a lot more significant. So this bonus gets better and better the later we are, the more advanced the melee units are. And already Karolians are pretty strong, so I think with Karolians, that's where this bonus becomes pretty relevant and pretty strong. Before we get to Karolians, let's check the second part of our unique abilities. Military units are healed and earn 15 XP when a Great General is born, and Great General combat bonus increased by 15%. So once again, the later we get, the more relevant this is, another percentage increase. So it works the same way as this bonus. The higher the base number, the better it is. And then we have the other part, which is really strong when used properly. We just have to make sure that we always know when the next Great General is going to be born, because when you know that on a certain turn you get a Great General, you can go super aggressive because you get completely healed. So even if you're frontline unit attack and the turn on 1 hit point, when the general is born, they are healed back to full. So we really want to take advantage of that, and this could give us decisive advantage during difficult sieges, or allow us to break through defensive lines. It's really damn strong. We just have to make sure that we always know when the Great General is about to show up. And I think it's written as when Great General is born, but I'm pretty sure it also counts for the artificial Great Generals that we get as a free Great Person. So we can even use free Great Person as instant heals for our armies. So if we ever get the option to fade by a Great General, we can basically use this as instant heal for all our units wherever we want. We just want to make sure that we always have enough fate stored up, and when we get into trouble, we use that fate, pop a Great General, heal everything up, and that's completely broken if it works this way as well. So that's our unique ability. Then unique units. First, Karolians. Strong frontline land unit specializing in long marches far from Swedish land. Only Sweden may build it. Starts with march and fieldworks. I'll have to check fieldworks. Not sure how that one works exactly. Gets additional bonuses from great generals and deals AoE damage to enemy units on kills. I like the last part, AoE damage to enemy units on kills. I'm not sure how much that is, but splash damage is decent when you have multiple sources, and I'm pretty sure we'll have quite a few Karolians. So they could actually quite easily wipe out large stacks of enemies thanks to the AoE damage. And of course, thanks to the extra bonuses they will be getting. They replace Fusiliers. That's one thing about Sweden, that they are not super strong early. Their strength really kicks in about like Renaissance era. That's when you get or early industrial. That's when you get Karolians. That's when you get, I have no idea how to pronounce this, Hakapelita, something like that. I'm probably like butchering the pronunciation, so I apologize. This doesn't even sound Swedish to me, it sounds Finnish to me. And yeah, when it comes to like Swedish cities and I guess units as well, it's like a mix of Swedish and Finnish names. So especially with the Finnish names, I may have some problems. But here, Hakapelita is a replacement for Lancer, so once again a Renaissance unit. Mid-game cavalry is stronger and more effective against wounded units. That's something we have to remember, that they don't want to attack first, they always want to attack a wounded unit. Only Sweden may build it. Great generals are generated more quickly by this unit. So I guess we'll be doing some kind of weird combination of Karolians and Hakapelita for the general bonuses, with just like a mild support from ranged units and some siege weapons. Guess that's the ideal composition, so that we get generals as often as possible and get the maximum out of them in combination with Karolians. But we'll see. I don't think we can really go without like heavy range support, especially with the strong cities. Hard to say. So great generals are generated more quickly by this unit, and it transfers its movement points to stacked great generals at the beginning of the turn. So the way I understand it is that when you have the Hakapelita and the general is sitting on the same time at the start of turn, the general gets all the movement points from the Hakapelita. The Hakapelita is stuck on the tile, but the great general can run like across half of the map. I'm not sure if it like steals all the movement points, or the general gets the movement points and the Hakapelita keeps it as well. But this is not like a super relevant bonus. It's just there, so maybe sometimes you can get advantage from that when you want to pop a citadel like somewhere where it's difficult to get. You otherwise wouldn't be in the range. So I guess that's where I see the biggest advantage, that you can, during the war, run to a border and pop a citadel there and not give the AI a chance to like stop the general, I guess. And as I said, they replace Lancers, so both our units come into play more or less the same time, very close to each other, and it's about like the end of Renaissance era. So that's where we have the power spike. Unique buildings, we have Skola, which is a replacement for public school, so once again comes into play quite late, but it's pretty strong. It gives us 1 science per citizen in the city, and also gives culture for 3 citizens in the city. So yeah, it sucks that it comes into play late, again, the Renaissance era, but the bonus is pretty damn significant. So I think we will be rushing scholars when we get to that stage of the game. And then we have Bastu. Bastu is a replacement for bots, so that's the earliest unique like component that we get access to. It's like I think early medieval era, but still early medieval era is quite late for me. Often when I'm playing like aggressive early game warmonger, the game is decided in the medieval, and here in this case, we'll be getting access to our first unique component by the time. So for me, even medieval era is quite light. And this is why I wanted to have at least one starting location with lakes, because it gives science to lake tiles and +1 science for every 2 tundra tiles worked. It sucks that it's tundra tiles worked, that it's not just tundra tiles that are inside of the like range of the city or within the border, but well, it's a bonus. So we have one starting location where there are lakes, and we have one starting location where there is some tundra. Because I want to like at least try if it's possible to get something from the building. From the looks of it, it seems like you get a little bit of science here and there if you are lucky, but it's never gonna be like super relevant. Then gain 25% science and culture output of the city as an instant boost when a citizen is born to the city. Again, it's something. It's gonna be stacking throughout the game, but it doesn't seem to increase with era. At least I don't see that anywhere. So overall, I don't know. I just have to see the building, how exactly it works. I have to see the exact numbers, but I'm like not super enthusiastic about it. But once again, I wanted to make sure that we'll have the option to test it out, so we'll have starting locations that allow the bonus to appear. And then +1 gold and culture from or to temples, amphitheaters, and gardens in the city. That's nice. 10% culture and food in the city during golden ages. Yeah, sure, I'll take it. Okay, so that's all the unique like components that we have access to, and now the starting locations finally. So first one, this one is probably the strongest one. I think this is the strongest one by far, and that's the one that I decided to roll with lakes. So it took me a while to find a starting location with lakes. I don't know if it's because of the map, but I needed to reroll like 30 times to even see one lake. Here there is more than one, so let's actually check. I have to go this way with the pathfinder so we can see it. As you can see, there is a pretty large lake here. So this starting location is like insanely strong, but I wanted to have one with lakes, so here it is. I really like it, but I'm not sure that it's the best option for the series because of how strong it is. But it's an option, so as I said, number one, we'll be starting here right next to the lake to get the food and hammers. We would get coffee. I guess coffee is gonna be the monopoly resource. We can't see anything else, just one coffee, one tile with gems, so it's possible that it's gems that we'll get the monopoly on here. But yeah, my guess would be coffee, so it's another 10% production bonus. So as I said, like a super strong starting location right from the start. Well, that's number one. Then number two. Come on, I hope it's not gonna take too long. Hello? Why is it taking so long? Those maps are not that big. Then this one, here we don't have lakes, but we have tundra. We have 3 tundra resources. So that's 3 worked tundra tiles for the unique building, and we can always look like a tundra forest or something to get at least 4 for the bonus. It's not bad. I guess this would be my choice for the series because it's quite balanced. It has what I wanted, that access to tundra. Starting location, we would start on the spot. I didn't even move my units when I saw the starting location. There is basically everything that I wanted from it. We have double wheat right next to the mountain. The only thing that we are missing is a forest on this hill. And like the dream would be having like a lake tile here and here. that would be like a perfect starting location for Sweden, I guess. But it's still pretty good, as I said, and we'll have a monopoly on copper, which is another production luxury. So pretty damn strong. So this would most likely be my choice, and then we have the third one, and this one. I wanted to have like one generic start. So that's this one. That has all that you like want from start, and it's not like super strong. Here, monopoly on gems. We'll be starting on a hill or forest hill next to a river, so pretty decent. We would have wheat. We would have one tile with 3 food. There is marble in the range, but like nothing special. It's decent starting location, a generic starting location with nothing special on it. I guess with all the plains and grassland, there is a very high chance to find things like cattle, horses. There are some hills as well, so maybe some sheep. And to see a little bit more, we would be starting here. There is flat plain, so even more food. And where would you move the pathfinder? Probably this way. Okay, more forests. So we didn't really reveal anything relevant. So as I said, very generic starting location. It's like it looks like it's somewhere in the middle of the Pangea. So this one, I'm pretty sure, will be the most difficult one. Especially because it most likely has AIs on all sides. I haven't seen more than this, but that's how it looks like, right? We don't see sea tiles anywhere. It doesn't look like there is a sea anywhere near. So I'm pretty sure this one is somewhere in the middle of the continent, and therefore it's gonna be the most challenging one. But to me, I wouldn't take this one because it doesn't offer anything specifically for Sweden. But once again, I wanted to have a generic starting location, so all these starts are decent, and I'd be happy playing on any of these. So yeah, I think that's it. As I said, you have 24 hours to decide which of these you want to, or you want me to use, and I guess that's it. So I hope that you like the settings. I hope that you like this episode, that you're gonna join me for the next episode again. And until then, have a good time. Bye bye.